Hello, everyone, and welcome to Canteen Cup. My name is Scott, and how is everybody today? Well, we've been busy today. We had the day outside on the tractor. That's always a good day. Yesterday, I had a quick clip about getting a landscape rake, and I used it yesterday and today to help clean up the trash. And then I switched it over and put my box blade on, and I started leveling the land a little bit and digging a little deeper to try to get some more of the roots up. So I got that done, and then I just put out a bunch of winter rye to let it grow to kind of hold the soil so it doesn't erode away. And that's probably all we'll do for about the next month or so. And as we get ready to plan what we're going to put out there, we're going to try and be smart about it and not just do either a shotgun approach or a helter-skelter approach to gardening. Well, today I wanted to do a video on things that we do to help us prepare for the coming flu season. For those of you that watch the news, I think it's Norville coronavirus from China has made landfall on the United States. There's at least one case reported so far. Typically, if there's one, there's more. And it's kind of a nasty virus. I've heard or I've read reports that it was somewhat antibiotic resistant. And so, who does that affect? Mainly it affects old people like me and very, very young people, people with compromised immune systems. And so it's not something to sneeze at, so to speak. One of the complications of this type of flu is pneumonia, which in and of itself is a killer. So I wanted to spend a couple minutes talking about what we do for the flu season and the flu. This year, neither one of us took a flu shot, and from what I understand, the flu shot this year just wasn't that good, or it wasn't prepared for the flus that are out there anyhow. My feelings on flu shots are, take as needed. If when I was working for the federal government and I was crammed in a cubicle city, yes, I got a flu shot. It's just the opportunity for me to get the flu from somebody was just too great not to ignore that. Besides that, being a veteran, I got my flu shot for free. So that was a Benny. Nowadays, I do not have near the contact with people that I used to have. And so there's less chance of me being infected. Not that I still can't be infected, but there's less chance. So what do we do to prepare for the flu season? Well, we kind of stockpile a few things. We like NyQuil. We like NyQuil at night, and then we take Alka-Seltzer cold and flu, either the fizzy tablets or the fluid caplets, the gel caps. Either one works well. We do like to keep a couple boxes of those on hand, and we like to keep a couple extra bottles of NyQuil on hand, because typically when I get sick, everybody else gets sick, and then you can't find it. One of the things I like about NyQuil is it pretty much lets me sleep most of the night, and the Alka-Seltzer during the day keeps me functioning so I can still do some work, albeit at maybe not as hard a pace. Now, this is a preparedness channel, and we do talk about preparedness, and then we can go into the scenario, well, what if the drugstores are closed down and you can't get your normal drugs? Well, we also have some other remedies, some homeopathic remedies that we keep on hand and that we also use. I am not, the snowflake type that says I only use herbal, or I'm not the type that says I only use, a professional grade pharmaceuticals. I think there is a time and a place for both of them, and something as serious as the flu, you want to take your best shot at it. And so, like I said, we keep NyQuil, we keep Alka-Seltzer, and then for our throats, we like Ricola, cough drops, one with honey in it. And we keep that in hand. Plus, we keep a lot of honey on hand. Honey is good for herbal teas that you drink when you're not feeling well, such as we like peppermint and catnip with a little bit of honey. Kind of soothes your throat, kind of helps keep your congestion down. So we do a combination because the flu can be serious, and not just for the groups I mentioned, but anybody. I think this corona flu over in China has already killed over 300 people, so that's nothing to sneeze at, so to speak. Okay, so what are the things that we keep besides what I just mentioned? The only true antiviral that I have on hand is a tincture I made this year, and it's from sweet gum fruits, from the sweet gum tree. This tincture has the same acid that is used in Tamiflu. And so I keep it. Basically what I did is I chopped up the green sweet gum balls. When I was a kid, we used to call them itchy balls. And I'd fill them up to about here, about 3/4 full, all chopped up. And then I filled this with, I believe in this case I used 100 proof alcohol, and I'll show you what I use, cheap stuff. And I filled it up to where all the fruits were covered, and then I let it sit for 2 months, and then I strained it, and this is what I got left. And this will probably be enough for the whole season. But it's Tamiflu, and then we take, I mean, you need to research what your dosage is good for you, but we take a teaspoon or two every 2 to 4 hours. That's for us, and I'm not, saying that's good for you. Do your research, like with all this stuff. But this is what I keep specifically for flu. I also have a tincture of echinacea. This is made with vinegar, not my favorite. I was trying it. But echinacea is another very good herb to take. And what makes it so good is it is an immune booster. It really helps boost your immune system. It's supposed to have some anti-cancer properties. It has, I don't know if it's antiviral, but it does a couple other things that are good for colds and flus. I'm having trouble with that today. And so we keep this on hand. We also keep elderberry. The only thing I'm going to say about elderberry is you just need to Google it because it does a bazillion things. It's a great all-around herb to have in the house. A lot of people use it specifically for colds and flus, but it is a good general purpose. I don't recommend taking it daily, but when you need it, it's good to have. This year we had to buy some, but in another month or so, excuse me, we're going to be planting some elderberry shrubs on our back 40 that we just cleared. So hopefully either next year or the year after, we'll be producing our own elderberry syrup. But it's a very good thing to have for colds and flus. And it does a lot of other things. The only thing I can sit there and say is one herbalist whose book I have said it's pretty much a pharmacy in one herb or one plant. So keep elderberry. We do. Now, also this year, I'm gonna make a mullein tincture. Mullein is a plant. I think it's pretty widespread. I know it's pretty common here in the southeast. It grows along the side of the road. It's an excellent plant. What it's good for is it's an expectorant is one of its main properties. And what that means is it helps your lungs get rid of all that junk in there. It rejuvenates the lung linings, and it helps you to hack up that stuff that's congested in your lungs. So mullein is a very good product to have. Hopefully next year I'll have mullein growing on my property. It is in this area. I mean, it can grow in this area. I just haven't seen any around where I live. I got this from Frontier. It's a very good, this is a very good company. This is organic chopped leaf mullein, and you can also use it in teas. You know, take this with catnip and peppermint and honey in a hot tea. Be very soothing, be very good for your lungs, help clear them up. So, how I make it. This is what chopped mullein looks like. There you go. Nothing special. Doesn't smell anything special. But I tend to fill my glass containers up about 3/4 full. And then what I'm going to do, put this down without spilling it, is I'm going to add some Old Smoky Tennessee moonshine. This is what I use. It's cheap, and you can get it in several strengths. I normally keep 100 proof, and I keep 128 proof depending on what plant I'm making a tincture out of. Mostly I use 100 proof, and like I said, I'm not after the taste, I'm just after the alcohol content, and this stuff is fairly cheap and it works. So whew. So what I do, I'm going to reach over here and get a spoon real quick. Is I'm going to take this and just pour it in this jar. Looks like I'll have enough. There we go. And I'll just take my spoon and try and get everything a little bit moist. And then I'm just taking a standard mason jar lid, putting it on top, and giving her a good a little snug down. Now, with a tincture, you can turn it. I try to turn it once a day, once every couple days, just to make sure that the alcohol is getting into all parts of the leaf and is extracting all the goodness from it. With a tincture, you want to store it and prepare it in a cool, dark place. What I do is I have a cabinet back in our laundry room that's not used a whole lot except for my stuff, my herbal stuff, and that's where I'll keep this. And I'll keep it for about 4 to 6 weeks while it kind of stews. And at the end of 4 to 6 weeks, I'll take it out and I'll strain it, and then it'll be ready. And you can take this and add it to your tea. You can take it straight. You can mix it with other stuff. Like you might take some of this, add it to your elderberry syrup with a little bit of echinacea. And if you think you have the flu, maybe some sweet gum. Mix it all together, add a little more honey to make it a little more sweet, and away you go. So, and also too, on the lid, I put what it is, tincture of mullein, and then the date I make it. I don't make the date it's ready, it's the date I make it. This will normally store for a year or two. That's why I only make about this much, but I can make more. Again, you know, if we have a bad flu season, make sure you have some stuff on hand before it's too late. Like I said, there have been times when I've gotten sick, like when everybody else has gotten sick. And when I went to the store to get my NyQuil or my Alka-Seltzer, it was gone. So, that's all I got for you for today. Stay safe, stay secure.